Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to show you this beautiful Irish crochet V triangle shawl that I've just completed, and honestly this one is all about the finish. If you're looking for step-by-step motif tutorials, don't worry, I already have so many detailed videos on my channel on how to make these beautiful motifs. I won't go into these in too much detail in this video because again I've got an entire playlist full of Irish crochet motifs. Go ahead and check out the playlist Irish crochet motifs. In this video I'm going to show you how to briefly join the motifs. If you'd like to access a more detailed video, a more lengthy video of me showing you how to put these motifs together, again, jump on my playlist. There's a lot for you there to have a look through. In this video, what I really want to focus on is, and this is really the star of the show, it's the border and the frame of the shawl. And because let's be honest, a shawl can be beautiful, but the border is what really makes a difference, makes it look expensive and finished and very elegant. This frame is completely transformational and it really defines the V shape in the shawl, balances the motifs and gives the shawl the classic Irish crochet elegance. So stay with me, let's get started with this main beauty. I am using thread, it's machine wool combined into yarn, as you can see here. This is looking a bit multicolored. I've got some pink, I've got some navy, I've got some green, I've got some black, I've got some white thread combined together. I reached for my 3mm crochet hook in making the motifs. I've used a plastic darning needle to stitch the motifs together, and you'll need a pair of scissors, of course. Let's get started with making this beautiful frame. I am going to make a triangle shaped outline border edging first so that I can work into it. What I mean by that is, once I've got my border, I'm going to put my motifs in the triangle and I'm going to stitch them all together. But I want this shawl to be really even and really straight, which is why I've made the decision to make a border first. Now, for the full tutorial of the border, you're going to find that on my YouTube channel under the playlist Borders and Edgings. Border and edgings. I am going to do this border quite quickly because it is quite a large piece of work that I'm doing, so quite a lot of it will be sped up. I'm going to go ahead and make the 3 lines first. I'm going to do 200 chains, 200 chains and 200 chains. I'm going to use my trusty stitch markers, aka safety pins, for me to pin when I turn the corner of the border. So I'm going to crack on and do 100 chains first. Sorry, 200 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Boom, I've got 200 chains, so I've got one side of the border ready. I am gonna go ahead, chain 1 and drop this stitch marker in, so I know I need to turn the corner here. And now I'm gonna do another 200 chains. I've reached the end and I'm gonna slip stitch into the first chain. And I'm going to crack on with making the border. Now, I'm going to make a really exaggerated border for the 2 sides coming down, but the triangle bit of the shawl that I want around my neck, I'm not going to put a border there, so I'm probably just going to single crochet across the top of it. Now, the border that I'm using, it is a 4-row pattern, so I'm going to complete that all the way across these 200 chains, all the way across these 200 chains, and then I'm just going to single crochet across to get back to this side and go and work 4 rounds all the way around until I've completed the border. Row 1, I'm simply going to single crochet across all 200 chains multiplied by 3 sides. So just cracking on with single crocheting. So I'm going to carry on single crocheting off camera, otherwise this video is going to be a hefty 400 hours long. I shall return when I have single crocheted on all 3 sides of the triangle to talk about what we shall do next. I've now single crocheted around all 3 edges. Let's crack on with row 2 out of 5 of this really intense border. So we're going to triple crochet 4 chains in, so 1 2 3. I'm going to go into that space there and triple crochet, another triple crochet in that same space. Now I need to get from here to here, so we're going to chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5. We're going to slip stitch into that bit there, so you should have a little bit of a peak that looks like this. We need to now make this exact same peak on the opposite side, so chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5. We're going to do 2 triple crochets in this exact same space. 1 2, 4 chains down, 1 2 3 4. We're going to put a slip stitch in, so you should have 2 peaks that look like this. When we come around in row 3, we're going to work into these in 2s. So we're going to chain here, make a little bit of like a crowny arch thing, and it just makes such a beautiful standout border. So I will go ahead and do one more with you, and then I'll do the rest off camera. So we are doing a triple crochet, 1 2 3 4 chains in, doing another triple crochet the exact same, and to get from here to here we're doing chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5. We're going to slip stitch that, chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5. We're going to do 2 triple crochets in the exact same space, and we're going to slip stitch 1 2 3 4 chains down like that. So I'm going to carry on making these around 2 edges, and then I'm going to single crochet from this edge to this edge, because I want to add drama to this edge, but this is the edge that's going to be around my neck and my shoulders, and I want to keep that simple. Okay, I've completed row 2. Let's crack on with row 3. For row 3, we're going to go ahead, chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and we're going to put 3 triple crochets in the center of the 2 peaks that we made. So 1 2 3, chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5, slip stitch right at the end of the peak. Work should be looking something like this. I'm going to do that all the way around. So I'll just run you through it once more. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 triple crochets in the center of the peak. 1, 2, 3. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch at the end of the 2 peaks. Work should be looking something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all the way around, then I'll come back and tell you what to do next. I've just finished up row 3. Before we're going to work into these peaks that we've put on top of the peaks. We are going to drop 5 single crochets in this space. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've come up to the 3 triple crochets that we made in the previous round. We're going to slip stitch on top of the first triple crochet. I'm going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to slip stitch to the third triple crochet space, and we're going to do 5 single crochets to go back down. 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch to get onto the next bit, but that's what your work should be looking like. So I'll run you through that just once more. And that is 5 single crochets, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch on the third triple crochet, chain 5. Slip stitch in the third triple crochet space. 5 single crochet in that space there to go back down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch at the end there to get onto the next bit there. So work should be looking something like this. Again, I'm going to go all the way around, complete the V section of my shawl, and then I will come back and we'll talk about the 5th and final row. So what we're going to do is to turn our work around, chain 1, and we are going to place 5 single crochets on top of the single crochets that we have already. And now when we get into this bit here, so the peak chain 5 that we made in our previous round, we're going to go ahead and place a half double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and do a picot stitch. That is simply a single crochet in these 2 chains here. And we shall repeat the exact same thing the other way around. So that's 2 double crochet, half double crochet, 5 single crochets all the way down. And then we shall slip stitch at the end of the piece that we've made. So and we're simply going to carry this pattern on all the way around the 2 triangle edges. Now look at the size of this border. This is why I selected this, because it's beautiful, it's dramatic. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my border, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about stitching the motifs in to this border that we have made. Now that our border is complete, I'm going to just go ahead and lay it out and lay it out the way that I want it. I've started to add my beautiful motifs within the border. I'm going to start stitching these. Now, the main theme that I've selected is this flower motif, which I will show you how to make. However, what I request is, please go onto my playlist. The playlist is Irish Crochet Motifs, and select the motifs that you would like to use within your project. I have so many different tutorials on different motif patterns, so go ahead and select the ones that you like and crochet away. You're going to be looking at around 100 motifs, just as a starting for any kind of moderate sized project like this. I have in-depth videos on how to stitch the motifs together using the Irish crochet method. I will show you a little bit of how to go about stitching the motifs within the border, but if you'd like a longer tutorial, please check out my other videos. So I have already made a start on joining my motifs, and I am gonna do a little bit of a demo on how I'm joining my motifs. I'm gonna build the center first, and then I'm gonna bring in the border and attach the motifs to the border. So I am looking to leave a little bit of a gap between my motifs. This is my, I think, third or fourth project with Irish crocheting, and the first piece that I worked on was a green cardigan that is on my channel. Please go ahead and check that out. Now, there are lessons that I learned from that cardigan. I didn't leave enough of a space in between the motifs when I was putting them together. What that meant is, the motifs very much blended together. I wasn't happy with that. So that lesson is something that I'm taking forward. So what you see me doing here is just securing my hook and needle first. I've secured it in that corner, as you've seen. Now, I'm just going to loop through the stitch that I have just made, and I'm going to make a decision on where I'm going to go next. I'm going to go here because this fits more naturally rather than here. I'm going in the back of the motif. The motifs are flat, the wrong side up. So this stitch that I've just laid down, I'm going to go back and forth maybe just 2 or 3 times. Like that, just give it a little bit of a tug. And can you see how me going in between back and forth this has made this quite large gap quite seamless? If I just go here, 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 it's just not going to sit right, and my work's going to be very gappy. But I'm almost creating this like web-like illusion almost by going in between this. So I will now go, I think I will stick to working on this motif here, like that. And again, I'm going to go behind the motif just a little bit, Another thing that I'm doing that's a little bit different from my other project is, you see these ends, I'm weaving them in as I'm going along, because I didn't do that in my last project and I ended up with a huge overwhelming mess once I'd finished that project. I'm now going to go to the next motif. I'm going to go left and cover this bit first before I continue working right. Also guys, you may want to get like a pillow or a gym mat, can be quite nice to pin your work into. I am indeed using my mattress. So I'm on my bed right now. Now we'll go, I think I'm going to go down here. Like that. Yeah. And then I think I need to get one final stitch in to this motif here, because otherwise I'm leaving too much of a gap. Yeah. I shall go here. Beautiful. Now I need to go this way. So I'm not gonna snip my yarn and reconnect here like I did in my previous projects, because it just creates more of a mess. I'm really aiming to build a seamless, beautiful project this time. Not to say my other project wasn't beautiful. I still do wear it with pride and it's beautiful. The green Irish crochet cardigan that I've made. I'm just going to go through the motifs like that. And I shall stop there. Let's grab another motif. I'm going to go for this spiral and I shall put that right here. Like that. Get some more pins. If you are a beginner, I strongly recommend grabbing some of these pins. So from here, I think I'm going to stitch into this motif here. Yeah. I'm going to go behind that. Like that. That looks good. Get behind here. I think I'm going to branch out to this one now. Go right here. As you can see, there's quite a long distance between these two, but just notice how seamlessly it blends together with this technique. I think I'm going to go and complete down here before I move here. So I'll just bring you down a little bit with me. I'm going to go back and forth. Actually, I think I need to go and attach to this motif here. Yeah. Go that way. In and out. So you see the gap that I was talking about? Can you see how that's quite seamlessly just blended in? And I do want to show you what this actually looks like upside, with the correct side up. There. Now this is going to look beautiful over like a black dress or a coloured dress underneath it, because these motifs are really going to pop. As you can see, I've got my flowers here. So now I'm going to go, I think, towards this way. Like that. And we're going to go this way. Like that. I think I need to double this. Yeah. So I've doubled it, and what that means is I'm sitting right in the middle of it. I'm going to go this way. Gonna double that and go this way, like that. I'm not gonna go and loop through that bit there because I've already got enough space to work through. I tend to loop through back and forth when I've got like odd larger gaps. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop there with this side. Now when I get back to this side, so what I'm gonna do is I'm simply just gonna go through a motif like that, not pull it too tight, like that. And I'm going to get to the next motif by just heading over to that side there, like that. Now what I'm going to end up doing is, at some stage, I'm going to just lay this out, the border, and I'm going to try and get a side as straight as possible, and I'm going to start to stitch the border to the piece inside. How I'm going to do that is I'm still going to keep a little bit of a distance, and we're just going to affix the border to the motifs exactly in the same manner. Okay, so I'm going to crack on a little bit more off camera, and then I shall be back just sharing an update of how I am getting on. So I've got a corner there, I've got a corner there, I'm working off of my single bed, and then I've got the tail bit of my shawl just hanging off of the bed at the moment. I'm really trying to make sure that I get the triangle really symmetrical. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just straighten this as much as I can. I'm going to start to pin it down with my pins, and then I'm going to work towards the left here. Then I'm going to come back down, and then I'll move this entire piece up and finish off the tail of the shawl. I do want to show you how I've gone about stitching the border to the motifs as well. So I stitched some random motifs together first, put them within the border, and then I pinned the border down to ensure that it is straight, and then I began to stitch just in and out like so. And if I turn that around, this is the right side out. Of course you can see that there. If I just straighten that out like that. I'm loving how this is going so far. I just hope that it's not too big for my body. I'm quite a petite 5'4", quite slim build. So there's no going back now, so I am going to go ahead and finish it, and I shall be back with a final result. And friends, we have it here, the finished Irish crochet V-shaped shawl. What I love most about this piece is how the border frames the motifs. If I just show you here, even if you have a look at my thumbnail picture, you see it hangs so beautifully off of my body. It's almost like a piece of artwork, and it gives structure without overpowering the design. And it clearly highlights the craftsmanship of Irish crochet. Thought beautifully, well, the V shape sits so nicely on the shoulders as well, and the frame pulls everything together into one cohesive, elegant piece. This is the kind of shawl, it feels like almost like an heirloom, worthy of something that you could pass down for so many years. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, or if the board has given you ideas for your own projects, please don't forget to like the video. As always, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it means the absolute world to me. And please check out my other videos, and I'm due to share so many more exciting projects with yourselves, and I'd be so keen if you could tune into those and follow the progress of those. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and I shall see you in the next Irish crochet video.